Hi, my name's Kip Moore, and I'm a specialized CFO in the construction and land development sector. You may have seen my videos before, but today I'm coming at you with a specific topic, which is my hypothesis on what might occur in different segments of the construction and development industry if the U.S. administration's tariffs come to fruition. And disclaimer, it's not all bad news, in my opinion, although there's all kinds of uncertainty which nobody likes. So let's get into it. We already know that the residential housing market in Ontario has been soft the last couple of years. Buyers of housing have not really been looking to absorb much development. So developers have held off because of the interest rate environment. And essentially the entire cycle has been a bit of a mess. And we see it through specialty trades companies being a little bit slower, less work out there in the residential sector. Tariffs may not help that, but a couple things could come out of tariffs in the residential sector. What could happen? Look, if certain industries are affected adversely by these tariffs, let's say that the automotive supply chain, which is right in the U.S. administration's targets, let's say that it suffers and there's layoffs, your development of mid-market housing in certain areas like Windsor or Oshawa may not be booming and you may not see a lot of development. Alternatively, though, the demand for affordable housing could actually surge. So I think that there's continued demand in spite of challenging money markets for multifamily development, and whether or not you're designing and building to hold or to stabilize and sell, I think that those markets have different fortunes attached to them. But regardless, the underlying demand is going to be there for smaller dwellings in multifamily settings. I'm optimistic, frankly. The developers may not be seeing it in every community. I think it's coming regardless. Okay. Now, what about some other segments? Office space has been an absolute write-off, not expecting that to change anytime soon. Industrial, lots of uncertainty, but a couple things could come forward in industrial. We're seeing the U.S. trying to suction capital out of Canada, talent out of Canada, into their economy. If our regulators get it right, and let me be clear, that's a huge, huge if, especially federally, but maybe even provincially, if they get the regulations or the deregulating agenda right, we could see an opportunity to put more shovel to ground. Why I say get it right is because we actually need to be doing that, right? If capital leaves the country and there's unemployment coming up in the near term under tariffs, we need to be building the employment base of the future, putting capital out into the economy. That's going to require some changes in regulations around banking, land zoning. These municipals are moving slow. Their development charges are egregious. Sorry if that hurts anyone listening, but I think we all know at this point municipalities are hindering our growth in Ontario. Okay, so industrial could go one of two ways. We could be facing an exodus of businesses, but we could be creating new businesses. We need more manufacturing for the defense industry. Let's get on it. There's some opportunities that could come out of there if the policymakers get it right. And if you can sniff out those opportunities, it may look good for construction. Okay. Now, what about in the agricultural space? Again, I think we could see a mixed story. Ag has a reputation that ag construction tends to carry on when economic cycles get tight. However, there is discussion out of the U.S. administration that Canada's supply management system is not popular. Trump wants Wisconsin farmers to be able to export to Canada. So could see some changes in those markets. Hope we don't. There's been growth there. It's a great story, but lots of uncertainty there. Now, last sector, what about public procurement and bid processes? I'm pretty bullish and pretty optimistic on public procurement and bids. Why? Because when you get into unprecedented economic uncertainty, infrastructure tends to get fueled through government spending, etc. I think that has to occur because the infrastructure deficit and the aging infrastructure continues to grow. We can't defer it indefinitely anyways. Might as well create those jobs. That's it for today. Again, I wanted to recap different segments of the industry. What could Trump tariffs mean to them? And it's a mixed bag. Tons of uncertainty, but some opportunities and some areas of concern. Hope that you can act on this. If you're looking to think it through more strategically, put some numbers behind it, let me know. We can be reached at 519-683-1633. Nancy takes the calls out front. She'll let me know that you reached out, and I'll be sure to get in touch. Enjoy building relationships in the industry. Don't hesitate to call if you think we could help you generate some unique insights into the future of your business. That's it. Take care, everyone.